Okay, today we're just going to look at some harder problems where we're finding the value of pronumerals, and we're going to do some worded problems with similar triangles and finding the value of the missing pronumerals. So girls, we've got a triangle there, a triangle there. They're telling us that the triangles are similar, but before you do anything, you need to work out which angles or which sides are the corresponding sides. So before you can do work with similar triangles, especially where they're overlapping, as in the bottom examples, or like this, you might say, well, I think the 2, does it match with the A or does the 2 match with the B? So we need to be definite about what that is. So you can use all the stuff that you've learned about angles. So this dot here in that corner equals that angle there in that top right hand corner equals which one? The one down here or the one down there? Why? Because alternate angles. So girls, they're alternate. So now I know that angle matches that one. What about this here? Matches what? That angle there matches the one underneath. Why? What are they called? Okay, great. So we've got the dots that match. We've got the arcs. These are called arcs that match. And if you want, you can put crosses. They match as well. Backward Z, alternate. So girls, now this is what you can do if you want. You can draw the 2 of them separately if you want, or you can leave them like that. I like to draw them separately, but you can see those 2 clearly. So now I'm drawing, that's my first one. The second one's under here, and I've got dot, cross, arc. Okay, girls, where is the side? See how I've got the dot, cross side and the dot, cross side? See what I'm saying, what I'm doing? You already knew probably that the 4 and the 16 match. But now we're sure because the 4 side goes from dot to cross. Dot cross on this one is 16. You should be able to already tell me, Miss, the big triangle is. Tell me how many times bigger?
4.
All right, it is 4 times bigger, but we can set up our things with ratios. So if you want, you could just say, I know to go from the triangle on top to the one on the bottom, I times by 4. Or we can set it out the proper way if you want. With this one, it's probably not a bad idea to do scale factor as opposed to setting up the equation, or we can set up the equation. So girls, where it's common sense, it's 4 times bigger. Go with that. Do you know what I mean? So we can do it 2 ways. We can say, well, the scale factor, you don't have to show the working, it's 4 if I'm going from there to there. So girls, this 3 matches with which side? It's the cross arc. The 3 matches with what? The A or the B? Yeah, because it's cross arc. So what does B equal?
12.
Yeah, it's 3 times 4. So here I'm going to go from the top triangle to the second one times 4, which is 12. And so A is what? A is, see, I've got dot arc that matches with dot arc. A will be 2 times 4 is 8. Now that's one way of doing it. That's using scale factor and saying, well, all right, I know they're matching sides. This one's an easy one. To go from the small triangle to the big one, it's 4 times bigger. So, but the thing is, girls, the mistake that people could make here is mix up the B and the A. But by marking your alternate angles here on the diagram and putting dots and crosses for the equal angles, you've sorted that problem out. And then, you know, I like to draw them separately as well, especially in the next 3 examples, to draw them separately. The other way, if you want, is to go. Let's say we're finding A. What does A match with? You would go A over which one? A over 2 equals, now I'm going from the bottom to the top, so when I do my matching one, so I'm going A over 2 equals, what would you choose now? B, no, 16. No, you wouldn't go, you'd go 16 over 4. So A over 2 equals 16 over 4. That's your other way of doing it. If you want, yes. Ooh. This, you can do that as well. So if the numbers weren't so nice, this is what we would do, the method over here. We would go A over 2. Now, you wouldn't go equals B over 3 because you've got 2 unknowns. See, over here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I only want 1 unknown. You can't have 2 unknowns in the one equation. It doesn't work. So A over 2 equals A over 2 equals 16 over 4. Therefore, A is 16 over 4 times 2, which is 8. okay? And then if you want, if the numbers weren't so nice, you would go b over 3, because it's arc, cross, equals what over what? B over 3 equals, so going from the, again, 16 over 4. So B is 16 over 4 times 3, which is, 16 over 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's two ways of doing it. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, girls, for overlapping triangles like this, you need to mark in which angles are the same again. So we've actually got two triangles. We've got the small one and the big one. The small one and the big one. Now I've got parallel lines. This angle here with a dot, what does it equal? No, I wouldn't say it's 90. You don't know its size. It could be 89 or 91. But it's the same as this one. Parallel lines, same position, corresponding. Okay? All right. What else are equal? What other angles might be equal? No, not co-interior. They're corresponding. Okay, what else? Down here, they're equal. Look, doesn't matter that the lines don't continue, but two parallel lines and a third line crossing them, the two dots are equal angles corresponding. But if you do, so girls, you can think of these as F, okay, F angles corresponding. So they're in the same position there. Upside down F, sort of sideways upside down. And then another one like that. Can you see them? So they're equal. Now, another place where your angles are equal is this one. Is common to both triangles. So this is what I've got. The small one looks like this. I've got arc, dot, cross. What are the measurements? Up here I can write. Anyone? For the small one. 10, 15, and U. That's the small one. Now I'm going to do the big one. Here's the big one. That angle in the corner is what we call a common angle. It's the arc as well. This is a dot back here and the cross down there. Now let's do the easiest side first. What's this one here? Yep, what's this one? It's up there. No, it's not V plus 10 because V is from there all the way. No, from there to there is, yeah, from there to there is V minus 10, but the whole side is just V. Can you see it? See, it's telling you from there to there is V. I know you automatically think you need to work this out, but you don't. From there to there, can you see it, is V. What about this one here? Good, it's 18. Okay, now, I can't see a scale factor that's very obvious here. You know, we're going from 15 to 18. So we're going to use that second method. We're not going to, so let's go. So let's work out, I don't mind which one you want to work out first. Let's go U. So U over, so U is dot cross side. What's it match with? U over 9 equals, now I need to pick a pair, a set. So I'm going from, yeah, U over 9 equals 15 over 18. So therefore U is 15 over 18 what? What do I do now? Times 9. I can see what it is already without a calculator. What's 9 over 18? Well, you end up with a 2 down there. 15 over 2. Half of 15. Well, you can do it on your calculator, but it's 7.5. That's the first one. Next, how do I do V? Are we good, girls? Please go the same direction. U over 9 equals 15 over 18. Same direction. U over 9 equals 15 over 18. The other thing you need to make sure that U is smaller than 9. Look, 15 smaller than 18. We can't have U here being longer than 9. That triangle's the smaller one. This is the bigger one. All right? So just make sure you can see things like that. What does the V match with? So V over 10, now I'm going from here to there, equals, from bottom to top, equals, which way? V over 10 equals? Yeah, I'm going from bottom to top. I go bottom to top. Sorry. V over 10 equals 18 over 15. And so therefore V is 18 over 15 times 10, which is, I don't know what. Because do you remember how we said we like to put the pronumeral first? Yeah. Well, if you do 9 over u, you've then got to turn it all upside down and rearrange it. Okay? Always pick your pronumeral first. Okay? What you want first. Makes life a lot easier. If you did do it the other way, if you do 9 over u equals 18 over 15, let's say you did that, how would you fix it now? U is on the bottom. That's the worst possible scenario, is that the u is on the bottom. What do you want to do? You can do that. 18u equals 15 times 9. And then so watch how many steps you're doing, but cross multiply, and then you still got another step. Whereas if you do it this way, you have one step. Always the pronumeral first. Okay? That's why. All right, what have we got? 12? Okay. All good. Now, there you go, girls. Can you try the third one? And with the third one, mark in your corresponding angles, common angle, draw the triangles separately. And this one is a little bit harder than the one before. Okay. Have you written this out already, girls? Do I need to wait? Okay, let's go. Let's mark in the angles that are the same. This one here with that one. This one here. That one. And the common one. Girls, please, even I draw in the two triangles separately. Yeah, it takes an extra minute, but you don't make mistakes when you do it this way. Every mistake, you lose a mark. And if you're making mistakes, often the numbers get a lot worse to deal with, and the problem becomes really hard. So girls, what else? A small triangle, big one, 22. What are you going to call this one? Yeah, 6 plus a. Got it? Because that is 6 and that is a. That is definitely 6 plus a. Bit different to the other one. You really need to look at how the sides are marked out. All right. Are we ready? What are you going to do? Now, it doesn't matter which one you put on top this time because you got a and 6 plus a. So we know that these are the matching sides from dot to arc, and they're the matching sides, dot cross are matching. So what are you going to do, girls? I don't mind. 6 plus a over a or a over 6 plus a, doesn't matter. 6 plus a over a, so they're matching. So we're going from right to left. That over that equals 22 over 11. Girls, what does 22 over 11 equal? 2. That's what I'd be doing next. 6 plus a over a equals 2. Now, girls, that over that equals that over that. Now what am I going to do? 6 plus a divide by a. What am I going to do with this divide by a? Not cancel with the one on top. Never ever, because you've got a plus. You can't cancel. If you cancel, you know what you're left with? 6 equals 2. No cancelling ever, because there's a plus here. You're not to do that. 6 plus a divide by a. We all know you want to get rid of the fraction, girls. Get rid of the divide by a. Opposite of that is 2 times a, which is, all right, so 6 plus a equals 2a. This is not hard now. What are you going to do with this a? Take it to the, so 6 equals 2a minus a. Girls, it doesn't matter that the a is on the right. So what? A equals 6. Makes sense, doesn't it? Because 11, 22, 22 is double. If a is 6, 6 plus a is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, girls? I'm going to hold it now. I'll pause. I'll stop. Start. I'm just going to draw the two triangles separately at the moment. ADE is this one, and ABC is that one. You're still going to have to work out, we know that this and that are matching. Girls, the two triangles are overlapping, so tell me where the other angle that you definitely know is the same for each is, if you understood what I said. Girl, a bit hard to, come on, look, no, girls, A is the same angle for both of them, is it not? Look. So see how I put that there? They've both got angle A at the top. That's the matching one. That's the easiest way to do it. Girls, whenever you see two triangles overlapping like that, like one inside the other, angle A belongs to both triangles. Can you see that? So mark it. So what, obviously the third angles have to be equal too. Does that make sense? So they've got the dots. That's the common angle at A. It's common to both. The last ones have to be equal now. Now I'm not taking a guess. All right, that's for certain. So now we can put our measurements in. Are we good? 12. X. 15. See, girls, once you draw it as two separate triangles, not overlapping, the problem becomes an easy problem. The worst thing is that matches with that matches with that, and let me draw it separately, which isn't hard. If you take this one little bit at a time, it's not hard, but if you're trying to tackle it like that, yes, it's hard and confusing. So what have we got here? AB. 12 plus 24, 36. This one, BC. Now it doesn't, yeah, that's 24. It's not 24 minus X. 24 minus X is EC. So it's just 24. Look, the arrow goes from there to there. It's 24. Now, where's your complete set? You should have a set. Girls, what matches with what? Arc dot. 12 matches with 24. All right, these aren't as bad as what you think. In other words, the big triangle is how many times bigger? It's just double. So you don't have to set up your little ratio thing if you don't want. So when do we choose method 1? When the numbers are really easy like this. 12 times 2 is 24. Scale factors, your scale factors 2. Okay, let's go. 15 matches with which one? Dot cross. Matches with what? Dot cross Y. In other words, to go from 15 to Y, 15 times 2. So what does Y equal?
30.
15 times 2 is 30. Girls, you can set it up the other way if you want, but I wouldn't. What about the X? X is arc cross. Arc cross. What do you think? Girls, if you go from here to here timesing by 2, how do you go back from there to there? Does that make sense? You divide by 2. Going up, down, you're timesing by 2. Going back the other way, you're dividing by 2. Does that make sense? 24 divide by 2. So X is 36 divided by 2, 18. Or if you want, set up your ratios. But what for? You can set up the ratios if you want. You can go, let's say you're working out Y first. Y over 15, how do we know they match? Dot cross over dot cross equals 24 over 12, work it out. Y is 24 over 12 times 15, which is 30. If you want, the other one that you could do is matching X with its partner. X over, now I'm off screen. So you could go X is arc cross, X over 36 equals a matching pair. I've gone from top to bottom. I have to go top to bottom again. See, girls, you know what might be good is circle them in different colours. Like I've got the 12 and 24 in circles. I've got the 15 and Y with an underline. And I've got the X and the 36 with a double underline. Or you just circle the matching pairs in different colours. Then you don't have to keep checking. So when you first draw them, do your matching of sides with your colouring first, with coloured circles. Then you don't have to go dot, cross, arc, dot, cross, whatever, all the time. Once you've matched them up, okay, then you don't have to do any more matching. So that's the other way. Girls, I'd really be familiar with both methods because, you know, the scale factor method's really quick when the numbers are easy, okay? That's those. Girls, with these problems involving similar triangles, obviously the sun is up here. That's the shadow. Again, drawing two separate triangles is the key to doing these questions. Right angle, right angle. Here's the smaller one, H and? Anyone? We've got H and 2. What's this? That's the tree. 12 and 16. I'm not doing this. You can do it yourself later. Easy. All right? Just watch, girls. Next one. I'm sure you can do that yourselves. Which angles are the same? You've got the right angles. Choose some others for me. And there are no parallel. Well, I suppose they are parallel, but there's a much easier angle to find. What have we got? Girls, 1 and 2 lines crossing. This angle with the dot equals which one? Vertically opposite. 1. Those two are equal. Therefore, girls, once you know that 2 sets of angles are equal in a triangle, the third are automatically equal. Does that make sense? Because triangles, their angles add up to 180. So I've got they're equal and these are equal. I want you then to draw them on their own and do them. Got it? Right? The next one. Just watching. Just mark them on your diagram. You're going to do them yourselves. Here we go. Look at this question. Tell me what sticks out. Look at the diagram. Got a bit of a problem with one of the measurements. Shh. One of the measurements is a problem. 3 kilometres. Yep. You're going to change it to what? Okay. Girls, 3 kilometres is 3,000 metres. We know that they're matching angles. Is there an overlapping angle or not? A common angle. Which one? In the corner. So when you draw them separately, you can finish it off. You put the measurements in. Crosses are obviously the same. All right, girls, I'll give you 10 minutes to work on those. H over 12 equals 2 over 16. H is 2 over 16 times 12, which is? Okay, the next triangles, you can draw them separately. You don't have to, but, you know. Or just circle the sides that are the same. Dot, right angle, right angle cross. They're matching, so right to left. W over 18, the underlines, or you can do red circles. Red circles are matching. I'd be matching them up. W over 18 equals 44 over 11. W is 44 over 11 times 18. 72. The river is 72 metres wide. Hey, look at that. They measured the width of the river without even going to the other side, using similar triangles. Pretty good, huh? See, 44 there, 11 and 18. The next one. Yeah. Let's put the measurements in. Small triangle 500, 350. Big triangle 3000 and H. They're both in the same orientation. H and 350 match. 3000 and 500 match. So therefore, unknown first. H over 350 equals, so bottom to top, 3,000 over 500. Going to cross off a few zeros. So H is 30 over 5 times 350. Because I crossed off a couple of zeros. 6 times 350, 7, 2,100. Is it that?
Yes.
Right. Diameter 28 centimeters is filled with water to a point 4 centimeters from the top of the cone. The surface of the water down here has an area of 36 pi centimeters squared. So let's look at the circle down the bottom. Radius. Area is pi r squared, which is what? Anyone? 36 pi. Now the pi's are the same, so therefore r squared is? So therefore r has to be positive 6 because it's a measurement. So that's great. So draw the two triangles separately, but I'd just be going like this. I just do right angle triangles. But you can, yes, definitely right angle triangles because if you've got vertical heights, girls, if that's a cone, that's definitely the same as that. You can do right angle triangle. All right, big and small. Shh. I haven't drawn them to scale, but looking at the bottom, let's look at the bottom one. What's the distance across there? 6. So what's halfway? No. That's 6. Half.
No, miss, the radius is 6.
Oh, thank you. The radius is 6. Good girls. The radius is 6, definitely. And see how I've drawn that triangle there? Right angle. What's the height? Height. Good. And the big one, what's the radius?
14.
Fantastic. And the height is?
4 plus 8.
Fantastic. Or h plus 4. Excellent. It's like that other question we did with the h, the a and the 6 plus a. Same sort of thing. I don't mind which one you put on top. Maybe the 4 plus h is easier. 4 plus h over. So they match. They match. Girls, how do we know they match? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but dot in the corner, it's in both the triangles, the dot. If I put a dot, common angle. 4 plus h over h equals 14 over 6. You want to get rid of the divide by h. Oh, no, actually, we're going to do what? Fraction equals fraction. Do what? Cross multiply. So, 4 plus h times what? Girls, the only time you can use cross multiply, girls, you really need to listen, is when fraction equals fraction. Cross multiply, can you write fraction equals fraction? And that's the only time you can do it. Fraction equals fraction, cross multiply. You bring the bottoms up to the other side. So 6 times 4 plus h. I'll put the 6 at the front because when you're multiplying a number by brackets, we normally put it out the front. Equals 14 times h. Are we okay? 6 times all of that. You've got to put all of that in brackets. 6 times 4 plus h equals 14 times h. That's 6 times 4 is 24 plus 6 times h is 6h equals 14h. Girls, it doesn't matter if the h is on the right. You always do. Move the smaller one, always. Always move the smaller one in terms of the pronumerals to the other side. So it's 14h minus 6h is 24. 8h is 24 coming over here. Therefore, what does h equal? 8 times what's 24?
3.
H is 3. There you go. So, therefore, h is 3. That's the height of the water. It's 3. Do you see why I needed to do right angle triangles? Because these measurements were vertical measurements. So you wouldn't go and do the triangle. You would not do the triangle like this. It's not going to help you. Homework. Do you really trust me to do that?